Und damit ein herzliches Willkommen und Hallo zu einem weiteren Let's Play Fake Order. Ich bin das Fix. Wir stecken hier immer noch im Krieg der Götter. Beim letzten Mal sind wir in unserer Gottstrahlines Basis gewesen und ja, langsam führen wir den Kampf auf. Ich wollte nur mal angemerkt haben, wie geil die Map eigentlich aussieht. Zumindest nachdem hier ja nun zwei der Hauptgötter und auch die Tierskunden hier bezwungen sind, ist langsam Zeus in die Ecke gedrängt worden. Doch natürlich der omnipotente Gott hat immer noch einiges in petto. Unter anderem hat er immer noch, ja, sich selbst. Und das sollte uns alleine schon genügend Angst machen. Die gute Europa soll ja hier hingerichtet werden. Und wir haben uns hier als Chaldea entschlossen, sie zu retten. Deswegen, liebe Leute, geht es nun los. Wir werden versuchen, das große Mütterchen zu retten. Und zwar im, ja, da sind nur noch Kuppel 18. In unserem nächsten, hoffentlich den nächsten Part. I'm sorry to interrupt, Kadoc, but we've got a violence. Was? Sind wir so Frankreich? Are you kidding me? I just defeated the servant. I'm running on fumes here. Oh, I see. Fortunately, I have a little magic energy spare to left. Ah, is that so? Must be nice for you being a hotshot elite with magic circuits out your asses. Sind wir so Frankreich? Keine Ahnung. Damn it. What the hell is with all this violence? I can't believe they're actually blotting out the sky. Not even the tropes in the appropriate blockbuster would resort to play it out cliché like this. What are you two masters alone supposed to do against a number like that? You said it. I would expect the French of all people to go something more avant-garde. What the hell kind of snark is that? Just because I'm using movie comparison doesn't mean you should do it too. Oh, come on now, you're sulking? I'm the one who feels I like sulking. Come on, let's just get out of here. There's no way we can win. First we're gonna find a ley line, then we're gonna summon myself and start fighting back. Got it, would I'm sure as hell not giving up without a fight. We can't afford to lose, not with all the humanity counting on us. I already took my tendency to whine and my inferiority complex and tossed them in the Seine yesterday, so I'm ready to do this thing, on a way or another. Yes, exactly, Kadoc. You're a much stronger and more obstinate mage than you give yourself credit for. Ist es jetzt so das Ding, wie es eigentlich gelaufen wäre? Ja, Leute, es ist echt so. Was wäre, wenn Team A damals die Menschheit gerettet hätte? Was wäre, wenn sie in unseren Schuhen gesteckt hätten und sie zusammen hier gegen den Magierkönig kämpfen müsste? Was wäre, wenn das Schicksal nicht gegen sie gewesen wäre? Jetzt sind sie nämlich in der zweiten Singularität. Good grief, just our luck that this one would be Rome where seasoned emperors are alive and well. I wonder if the five good emperors are here too. I've always secretly admired Emperor Hadrian. Didn't I want you to keep that sort of fanboying to a minimum, what then? As if what you babbled about in France wasn't bad enough. Hold on, Ophelia. If you used the Arc de Triomphe as a catalyst, do you think we could summon Napoleon? Süß. I couldn't believe it. Besides, that singularity was in 4031, and the Arc de Triomphe, the Leotel, wasn't built until 1836. So it wouldn't even have been there in the first place. I'm not so sure. If history becomes muddled in singularities, why not space-time too? Please try to take it seriously. Whatever happened to your usual cool-headed self? Alright, listen up. I'll handle direct combat. You handle things like negotiating with the locals, asserting the situation, and coming up with plans. Any objection? Not at all. You're much more capable in battle than I am, so I'm happy to let you take care of it. I swear, I didn't even know you were capable of being so accommodating. Do I really have to remind you that we are the last two masters who have been entrusted with restoring humanity? This is the whole reason we are invited to Chaldea. We can't afford to make so much as a single mistake. So let's go da, do what we came here to do, Woodtime. It's our duty. Süß. Also, das ist jetzt, wie es mit jedem Crypter zusammen gewesen wäre. Komm noch, Hinako. Achso, es ist auch nach der Reihenfolge. Klar, erst Kadoc, Ophelia, dann Hinako, als nächstes kommt Pepe, dann 5. Singularität, keine Ahnung wer da kommt, vielleicht ist er dann auf sich alleine gestellt. 6. Singularität ist dann mit Beryl und 7. mit, oh Leute, Beast gegen niemand anderen als Woodtime und Beryl. Das, nicht Beryl, wie heißt der nochmal? Ich hab seinen Namen vergessen. Der andere Cryptide. Komm noch, Hinako. you should know better than to go on our deck without taking proper precautions. After all, well, you know what you are, right? Won't you drown the moment you fall into the sea? I think you know what you're talking about, that can't handle running water are a western thing. Whatever the case, it is bearing on me. I do know what I am, and it's what you seem to think. I'm just an ordinary mage, a master like any other. You know what's how I've been presenting myself all this time. If you knew my secret all along, why are you only now bringing it up? I wish I could take credit for figuring it out sooner, but I can't. I only say I had no idea. I knew you were hiding something, of course. But I didn't realize you were, you know what, until the singularity. It was quite a shock. I never would have guessed you were hiding something this, well, I don't know if serious is the right word, but it's certainly fascinating. Fascinating, my foot! This is a matter of life and death for me, you know? Also, when did you get to be so insensitive? I could have sworn you were a lot more tactful back in Chaldea. I'm sorry, you're right. I should have been so careless with someone else's secrets. I suppose the singularity just feels so open and liberating compared to the others we've seen so far, that I ended up being a bit more free-willing than usual. So I've been putting on an act then. Huh. Now it's my turn to be shocked. I had no idea you were such a good listener. You remind me of someone I once knew a long time ago. You always acted and spoke like a perfect noble, yet he was surprisingly easygoing and soft in the inside. Oh, so traurig, Mann. Shanyu ist tot, Mann. Ich habe ihn im dritten Lostbelt getötet in diesem Dreck-Fight und dich auch, Mann. Kein Bock auf die, Mann. You were so la. Skippen wir. So. If this would really like, are you sure we'll be okay going forward? You do know we are the only ones left who can restore humanity, right? Well, not that it matters much to me either way. I couldn't care less if human history keeps going or not. So if I ever get bored of it and bail, you have to figure out the rest on your own. Leute, ich bin dafür, wir tun Akuta einfach jetzt. Du sie einfach ins Wasser schmeißen und schaust, ob die Gerüchte stimmen, dass sie dann untergeht. Nee, das war nicht cool. Jeder Auftrag mit Hinako ist einfach kacke. So, 4. wird cool mit Pepe. It's hard to believe there's a singularity in London as well. Even the Magiers station is nowhere to be found. At least it looks like the clock tower underground is still the same. What do you make of this, Miss Beryl? Oh, mit Beryl? Okay, nicht mit Pepe. It's definitely not cursed. This toxic fog is based in science. I bet there's a giant boiler or something bleaching it out somewhere. I mean, we're dealing with the Industrial Revolution now, yeah? Man, my old lady hated that age with passion. Said it made her little house in the wood even more unbearable to live in. Warte, das verstehe ich nicht. My old lady hated that age. Okay. Das klingt irgendwie so, als würde seine Mutter in der Zeit gelebt haben, deswegen bin ich ein bisschen irritiert. What about you? Is the mist affecting your magical circuits? Ah, thanks, Kirsch. I didn't know you cared, but don't worry, I'm totally fine. My old lady's the only one who hated consumer culture. Me, I'm A-okay with it. Trust me, when it comes to settling scores, I'll take a trusty pistol over Frankie Magecraft any day of the week. True, I have to agree with you there, but only as long as your opponent is vulnerable to firearms. Yeah, that's a good point. It's pretty much all ghosts and automata here. Whatever, I guess I can act like a mage and do some extra magecraft for once. Alright, Kirsch, since most bad guys tend to make their hideouts underground, let's go find the nearest subway station so we can crush them and move on. I gotta say though, between the two of us, I'm not too worried. Sure, I was kind of shocked when I found out the rest of the team had been killed, but as long as you're around, I figure we'll be fine. But watch yourself, you hear? I'm not just weak, I'm notoriously fickle too. If we are not careful, I could just well end up going over the enemy side. So, just keep one hand on the reins while you're out here trying to thread this needle, okay? So, das irgendwie... lass mir den Gedanken. I can't believe we need to cross the entire American continent on foot. That alone has to make this the most difficult singularity so far. What I wouldn't give for a jet plane right about now. Hell, I'd even take a helicopter. No, that's enough whining of you, mister. It's only been 300 kilometers so far, right? We'll be at the city where we can get a car soon enough. Oh, I wonder if they'll have a pickup truck. You must have some very strong legs, Peperoncino. What was your movement technique called again? Jinzokutsu? One of the 6 Shogunate Rokunzu? I've been using Magecraft to enhance my own legs, but this only goes so far. I'm certainly not going to be running a marathon anytime soon. Come now, Kishia. Didn't I tell you to call me by my real name? It's Miriaro, remember? I figure it's the least I can do to show you a bit of respect after everything you've been through. Is that one of your powers too? Right you are. Tashinsu, the power to read others' minds. Now in my case I can only tell the color of others' auras. Still, with a color scheme as complex as yours, that's enough to give me a pretty good idea. I swear gods can be so cruel, and they have done absolutely nothing but help us. Anyway, tell me, when do you think I'll croak? Which singularity? If I know that ahead of time, I won't have to hold anything back. And that might help me be at least a little to help you. I really can't say, but I do know that no one has ever made it past the halfway point. And we are at the third singularity now. Which means we'll be at this point ourselves soon. But in your case, you think I could stick around helping you out to the end? It would certainly be lovely if you were right. But unfortunately there's one more power I have, Runjitsu. It tells me how long I'm going to live and what my destiny will be. And it's telling me there's no way I'm going to make it to the end. Runjitsu, I see. So that's why you were always so fatalistic. You were unfairly inconsiderate of everyone else back in Chaldea, but when it came to yourself, you only went through the motions. I always found it strange how someone so kind to others could be so cold to himself. Oh, please, don't look at me like that, hon. Trust me, I feel that way worse about this than you do. I don't know how many times you've done this before, but you did say that everyone else died partway through, right? So you must have managed to finish the job all on your own, and I'm sure that's just what you'll do this time too, even if you have to fight back your tears over my death. That's why I want you to know my real name. For me, this whole journey has been like a dream. When I came back to life, it'll be like it never happened. But if you use my real name, that'll be all my true self needs to know. I can trust you. And that you really are the right person to lead us. Yes, I suppose it would. You always have been the most observant member of Team A. Also erstens, da fehlt noch ein Mitglied, aber den haben sie natürlich nicht gezeigt. Zweitens, was war das bitte für eine Szene? War das so eine innere Vision von Wotan? Was wäre, wenn die Crypter es geschafft hätten? Und scheinbar sind sie immer gescheitert. Egal, im Endeffekt, er simuliert, was wäre, wenn sie eben es geschafft hätten. Und sie wären immer gescheitert, egal was passiert. Eben, wo wir, Chaldea, der gute Maxi, weitergekommen sind. Is something wrong, Wotan? Your mind seems to be closed off. Aren't you the one who asked to see me? You're right. My apologies, Eos. I was just reminiscing a bit, and I must have been more lost in thought than I realized. I hope you forgive my rudeness. However, unintentionally it was. I'm only human after all. It's difficult for me to concentrate with your divine aura this close by. Ha! What's so funny? I'm here because I'm concerned about you, you know. I wanted to talk to you about Queen Europa's execution. I don't think you should go through with it. Not only for her sake, but for yours as well. The revelation has been proclaimed. My decision will not be overturned. I understand it's a fatal choice for me, but it is what it must be to be done to maintain order in Olympus. It is what must be done for you, world that named us as gods. I seek not to protect myself, but Olympus. Or rather the miracle that is in this world we only managed to find after years spent wandering. You know, now that you mention it, you never did tell me the story of why you all crossed the Sea of Stars. Genau, das ist mal ein sehr interessanter Gedanke. Habe ich auch irgendwie schon mal, glaube ich, angesprochen, nämlich, wieso sind sie eigentlich auf die Erde gekommen? I suppose I haven't, have I? It was a very, very long journey. Before the intelligence that created us died out, they sent us on a meaningless expedition without so much as a single life form aboard us. Our very universe was on the brink of death. So our flagship Chaos exhausted 97% of the resources to send us to your universe. When we arrived, we found this universe to be brimming with life. But we were still unable to locate a planet that met the landing conditions with which we had been programmed. We spent thousands upon thousands of years looking until there were only a scant few of us left. Unable to maintain our convoy, most of our function ended up wearing away and fusing together. Then, just as we had come to terms with our fate and accepted that our journey was about to end, with our goal accomplished, we discovered this planet. It was a miracle, a planet that met 78% of our landing condition. We quickly made an emergency crash landing on this planet's surface, and the rest, you know. You humans gave us name, even me. In our fleet, the only ship with a name was our flagship, Chaos, and Chaos never landed on this planet. After the first Magia, I became our fleet's flagship in Chaos' place. Once we were only functioned, but then you humans gave us names, believed to us to have personalities, and worshipped us as precious beings. We were uncertain of how to respond, the names, the personalities, the worship. None of it was important or even useful for voyaging. And yet, you were delighted, so you decided to accept the faith people put in you. Das ist so eine Sache, erinnert mich gerade, also ich will jetzt eigentlich nicht Xenoblade Chronicles 2 spoilern, aber sagen wir mal, eine Person wurde eben durch eine andere Person zu dem gemacht, was er wurde, und dadurch wurde er böse. Und im Endeffekt ist es ja auch hier so, also die Maschinen sind halt auf diesen Planeten gekommen, einfach weil es ihre programmierte Ausgabe war, und die Maschinen haben ihm im Endeffekt, also die Menschen haben den Maschinen hier im Endeffekt eine Aufgabe gegeben. Sie haben sie als Götter bezeichnet und die Götter haben das akzeptiert und lebten auch nach diesem Motto eben, die zu beschützen, die schwächer sind, dass sie die sie anbieten, am Leben zu halten. Yes, we were delighted. It was the first time we had ever known joy. Joy was a function we neither anticipated nor needed, but we also could not bring ourselves to abandon it. In the end, we all agreed to operate from that point on, not as function but as gods. But I was the only one who understood that putting down roots on this planet would mean turning our backs on our original directive. It was not to ensure the people of the celestial bodies flourish, but to revive our home planet. I see. So you decided to conduct yourself as though you were a god, or rather you changed your own programming. And you did so in order to protect the people of Earth, of Olympus, no matter what it may cost. That meant ruling over not just the people of Earth, but the 12 Olympians as well. You encroached on the other godship roles and overstepped your bounds, and did so knowingly. And by integrating all function within yourself, you become an all-powerful god. Why? It was the only way to resolve an otherwise unsurmountable problem. 40,000 years ago, a calamity made its way to this planet. I knew that something like the White Titan Zephyr, a planetary envoy and destroyer of civilization, existed somewhere in this universe. But I never expected it to make its way to this planet. Zephyr was the invisible weapon, a being capable of destroying entire civilization whose threat only grew greater the more time passed. There was no time to discuss what to do with the other godships. So I took control of the other 12 Olympian functions, became a single godship and drove off Zephyr. Thanks to that, Olympus was saved. But the other godships all came to hate me. And who couldn't blame them? I stole the function, knowing it would lead them to ostracize me. While all the other godships had the same integration ability, I was the only one who would choose to use it. I was the only one who overstepped my bounds. I was the only ship who went mad. You're wrong, Zeus. In that moment, as far as this world's people were concerned, you were the only true god. My story is just like yours, Zeus. I was changed in a way I never would have experienced if I'd stayed solely within the bounds of my assigned destiny. All of a sudden I had motivations I had never been accepted to have, and a goal far beyond my reach. All this excess drastically disrupted what my life was originally supposed to be. But even so, I decided to dedicate the rest of my life to that so-called excess. Ever since, it has been my guiding principle, the most important thing in my life. I understand, Zeus. All you did was decide to leave your past self behind in order to save those who gave you meaning. I'm hearing a lot of commotion on the surface. It seems Chaldea's made their way here to rescue my queen. How is the Tree of Emptiness faring? What time? It won't be long until it's ready. Once it is, the only remaining step will be to have one of us use it. If you'd like to use it now, I could always deal with Chaldea myself. No. If they are here to save Europa, then I should be the one to greet them. I will save the Tree of Emptiness after I have both eliminated Chaldea and defeated you. That certainly sounds ideal to me, but are you sure that's what you want too? It is. This is the only way I can repay you. I'm going to erase this terminal now. It will be the last self of mine I ever make for conversing with human. Thank you, Kirishida. You gave me something I never had. Something I could never have hoped for once I became an all-powerful and began to rule my rule of Olympus. I never had the chance to share my burdens with either Hades or Poseidon, but I did it with you. Farewell, young mage. Farewell, friend. And farewell to you, King of the Gods. I hold you in the highest respect. Leute, Mann, ich hab so Gänsehaut, Mann. Einfach wie die sich wirklich so auf ebenbürtig sehen, Mann. Das ist so krass, Mann. Und es ist soweit, Leute. Zeus rückt aus. Der allmächtige, der omnipotente Gott, das Wesen, was die alle Götter in sich vereint. Er rückt aus. Und das könnte schmerzhaft werden. Nun gut, liebe Leute, wir machen jetzt hier wieder einen kleinen Cut und beim nächsten Mal geht's dann weiter mit Let's Play Fake und Order. Bis zum nächsten Mal und viel